So there are 8 billion people living on the earth. You think you're just a human being. No, not really like that. We are superorganisms because our body also a home for other organisms as well. So each of us hosts 40 trillion bacteria and 380 trillion viruses. So they're actually tens of thousands of times higher than the entire population on Earth. I'm part of a research group in Groningen, called itself the poop group. Yeah, you heard it right. It's because we work with the poop sample just like dung beetles. And you may think, oh, what's going on there? Actually, by analyzing your poop, we can discover which bacteria, viruses, and fungi living in your gut, what we call the gut microbiota, and to investigate how they influence our well-being. Maybe some of you may think, hey, on the bacteria and the virus bite? Not actually. Most of them are harmless. Many of them are even good for our health. Some of the good bacteria can help us digest the food, support our immune system, and keep us healthy. So they are not just tiny residents in our body, but also very important team players. No microbes, no life. We cannot live without our gut microbes. If we completely remove all the microbes in our mouse's gut, actually all body systems start to malfunction. The intestine, the heart, the liver, the brain, metabolic and immune system. Similarly, all human disease has been linked to the gut microbiota. So this changed the way we traditionally think of medicine. So if you have heart problems, you go to see a cardiologist. If your stomach feels off, you visit a gastroenterologist. However, nowadays, medical doctors are starting to look beyond the affected organ. They also wonder what happened in your gut. It is because we have discovered a strong link between the gut and other parts of the body, the concept that we know as the gut X-axis. This concept refers to the bi-way communication between our gut and other human organs, such as the gut-liver axis, the gut-brain axis, the gut-heart axis, and so on. So then this modern science actually proving some things. Hippocrates, the father of the medicine, said 2,000 years ago, all disease begins in the gut. Nowadays, it seems that he is more right than you have ever imagined. Actually, before we were born, we have no microbes in our gut. So you may wonder, hey, where do they come from? This is actually all happened during the birth. When we were born, we encountered the world full of the microbes. Some of the bacteria or viruses come from your mother, for instance, vaginal delivery, breastfeeding, skin contact. Some of virus and bacteria microbes can come from our surrounding environment. When you were kids, were you ever annoyed by your mom keep reminding you to wash your hands after school or playing outside? First, well, your mom was right, and because hand washing is very effective to actually prevent infection from harmful microbes. We all had first-hand experience during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, there's something important. Living in an environment too clean may not always be best for us. With our deep understanding how the gut microbes affecting our immune system, actually we're starting to rethink hygiene. Hygiene hypothesis proposed in the 1980s suggest playing outside in the nature, touch plants, be surrounded with animals, actually can bring some good bacteria that can strengthen our immune system. This concept has been supported by different kinds of studies. For instance, kids living in a farming environment have shown a much reduced risk of developing asthma. So don't be afraid to be a little bit dirty. It's sometimes also good for your health. So when microbes enter to our body, they can grow and settle, but due to the differences in our genetics, in our lifestyle, in environment, and in our own health condition, we build upon our very much unique microbiome composition. I used to call it microbiome fingerprint because it's so unique for each individual. But nowadays, I prefer to call it microbiome face ID. Why the change? First, fingerprint won't change during the lifetime. But your face does, so does your microbiota. Second, we learn a lot of information from your individual's face, learning about their age, gender, ethnicity, or whether you're happy or healthy. Actually, we can also tell a lot about you from your gut microbiota. The smart toilet is not a fantasy anymore. Actually, it's already in produce, which can analyze individuals' poop every day in the near future. So next you may wonder, hey, it's so important. How can I establish a good microbiota for my health? There's many different ways. First, diet is important. As the saying goes, we are what we eat. So good diet, not only for the food that provides nutrients directly to us, also about how we feed the microbes living in our gut. For instance, some fibers our body cannot digest, but they're actually food for our gut microbes. Gut microbes can break it down to the very useful small compounds that are good for our health, such as short-chain fatty acids. Nowadays, people are more focused on gut health by choosing what they eat. This shift has led to a greater demand on unprocessed food and fiber-enriched options. Moreover, even we know what is good or bad food, but people can actually respond differently to the same food. This also leads to the rise of the personalized nutrition, a way of tailoring dietary recommendation based on each person's unique biology. When personalized nutrition and personalized medicine come all together, actually we can build a better strategy for individualized health management. Second, we can also take live microbes as a food or supplement known as probiotics. And here, actually, I'd like to first share you a very personal story about my aunt. She is now 87 years old. 2 years ago, after getting COVID, and she suffered severe diarrhea for 1.5 months. And her body could not absorb any nutrients. And she lost so much weight, and she dropped to only 30 kilograms. She is 150 centimeters tall. That means her BMI at that time was only 13.3, dangerously low and life-friendly. So then we realized maybe her gut microbiota is completely disrupted due to COVID infection and treatment. So we decided to give her probiotics twice per day. Something incredible happened. The diarrhea stopped, her appetite returned, and her body weight went up to 44 kilograms. Now her BMI is healthy, 19.6. So now you can fill your shelf space with all kinds of probiotic products. Some people or even tried exploring traditional way of making fermented food at home. In the meanwhile, the latest microbiome research also discovered a lot of new probiotic species. One exciting discovery is a bacterium called Akkermansia muciniphila. Actually, it was discovered first by the Dutch researchers in 2004. They are very common in human gut. And in just 20 years, this bacteria show a huge potential. Clinical trials have shown that it can actually help improve metabolism, assist weight loss, ease syndromes, type 2 diabetes, and can even make a cancer treatment more effective. Third, in the even worse scenario, where somebody's microbiota is completely collapsed, it is still possible actually to restore your microbiota by receiving poop samples from healthy donors. This procedure, we call it fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT. In January 2023, FMT was the first approved for the treatment of CDCO infection. CDCO is a very harmful bacteria, and it can overgrow in individual's gut when your original community is corrupted. It causes tens of thousands of deaths every year. So FMT has been shown to be very effective for its prevention, with a success rate of reaching 95%. Now, FMT also has been tested in different clinical trials for different conditions, such as inflammatory bowel disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and even for the cancer treatment. To make FMT even more accessible, poop samples can even be made to capsules. The patients can take it orally, so just like a regular medicine. So far, I have talked a lot of microbes living in our gut. But as you know, microbes are everywhere. You can find it in the soil, in the plant, in water, in animals. So altogether, we form an ecosystem that affects everything in this planet. Microbes can also play huge impact in sustainability, affecting animal health and agriculture and environment. So this is where the concept One Health comes in. That suggests if we want to address the health challenges, we should take a holistic approach and work together across different fields. This is not just an idea, it's also a business proposition. The global market focus on the microbiota has been valued at about $14 billion per year. About $1 billion in human health, $7 billion in agriculture, and $6 billion in animal health. Before today, we are in different places and meeting different people. Tonight, we are here at TEDx, where we're sharing ideas and microbes. Tomorrow, we're going to separate roots. Unknowingly, we're carrying some new microbes with us. So what we have shared today may make changes that we carry forward for the rest of our life. It is incredible to think something so tiny, invisible, can have such a huge impact. Yes, very tiny interactions, very small decisions actually can affect not only our own health, but also the health of our planet. Thank you.